Red Carpet Lounge. I'm AD from Rock on a 5-3. Thank you so much for being here. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Before Yelawolf comes out and does what he's going to do, I just wanted to, it's not often that you get a chance to grab a room full of people to listen to the radio station, put them all in one place and say thank you. So thank you from the bottom of all our hearts for being part of our Rock on a 5-3 family. We appreciate it. And once again, if you would be so kind, because I can't do it loud enough, give it up for yourselves on my behalf. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Rock on a 5-3 listeners, welcome to the SDCCU Red Carpet Lounge. Despite the fact that there is conspicuously no red carpet here, we're just going to act as though there is. Please give a big, warm San Diego welcome to Yelawolf. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? Oh, yeah. Slum Diego. Thanks for coming out. Y'all won a contest to be here? Yeah. All right.
And they're all going to be here. Well, not here, but they're all going to be at the House of Blues tonight when you play.
What's up, man?
We're going to do one song in just a little bit, and very, very excited to be the first rock station in the country to be playing Yelawolf. Thank you so much for giving us a record that means so much to the people of San Diego. It's been a well, thank you so much for giving us a record that means so much to the people of San Diego.
Yeah, well, I didn't know it meant that much to you. It means a lot to me.
It's been an especially long
means a lot to you.
Journey for you. 2005, I think, was when I first heard of you. And what's interesting to me is a lot of folks that I guess rappers, for want of a better expression, don't necessarily have the longest career, they don't have the largest amount of longevity, but you've really stuck with it for an incredibly long amount of time, and you've made a real go of it. What would you say sets you apart from the pack that's allowed you to do that?
It's probably just my my fearlessness to evolve, you know, just change when I want to change, play the music I want to play, and not to get stuck in a shell or to do what people expect, you know, all the time. I think it's always good to keep people guessing. I'm a fan of that, you know. My biggest inspiration for how I went about my music was Andre 3000, and watching him make that transition was just really inspirational to me. Like, man, I'd like to do that, you know. I'd like to have that freedom, you know, to do anything I wanted to do, you know.
It brings up an interesting point. I kind of have a go-to question that I ask all musicians when I get a chance to talk to them, which comes from when I was a kid listening to the radio. I heard Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains interviewed once, and the question to him was, what was it, if you had to pick a certain record, or if you had to pick a certain maybe performance on television or a show or something, that made it so that music was something that indelibly became part of your life, became something you had to do? And quick as a flash, old Jerry was like, oh, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And it's not necessarily what people would think, which is why I like asking that question to all musicians when I get a chance. You get some interesting answers. So if you had to pick one, maybe it's a record, maybe it's a TV performance, maybe it's a show that you went to that made you go, all right, music is definitely going to be it for me for the future, what would you say that would be?
My first show was Ted Nugent. I was 6 years old. My first time on stage, I sang If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie. I was 5. And my mom was dating a person for a while who was on the road with Dwight Yoakam and Trisha Yearwood and Alabama and Alice Cooper. And so I was in it. You know, I would sing around the house, and I was just in it, man. I was on a tour bus with Alabama at the June Jam and flying around with the drummer's private plane, you know. Just, my mom was pretty much a rock star, you know.
Right on.
So and she was 15 when I was born, so you imagine 10 years old with a 25-year-old rock star, you know. So I was around a lot. She was very pretty and very, you know, she was out there. She was doing it, you know. So I was right there with her.
So would you say that almost really, having grown up in that environment, there was, what else were you gonna do? I mean,
it was somewhat of a birthright, you know. I mean, for the Run DMC crew to show up at my house, you know, because they knew my mom's boyfriend, because he did the Walk This Way tour with Aerosmith and Run DMC, and they gave me a My Adidas t-shirt at my house in Alabama. It was years later, I didn't realize it was actually them. But I saw John Orchard was his name, and I saw him years later in Tampa. I was like, hey man, you know, remember them black dudes who came to our house for that party that one time? What's that? He was like, yep. So they gave me my Adidas t-shirt and a License to Ill tape. I heard Paul Revere, and that was my introduction to hip-hop. Other than that, I was just singing country songs and classic rock like REO Speedwagon and 10,000 Maniacs, and, you know. So I was very, you know, and I was just all around it, and that was part of my life.
So it might have been a birthright, but it kind of took a little bit of vision and persistence on your part. There's an amazing story.
A lot of ego. That's what it takes.
But there's an amazing story about you essentially being borderline homeless, living in a park in California, and then deciding real quick in December, you got in touch with your mom. You decided you wanted to do something a little bit different. You went back home to Alabama, and then almost immediately you turned around and went to Seattle, was it, to start working on a fishing boat?
Yeah,
Is that
good,
correct?
man. Yeah, you really paid attention. No, really, you got the story pretty much exactly how I would have said it.
You are welcome. But no, I mean, what I find interesting was you made this decision to turn your life around. You went back home to Alabama. You went to Seattle, and you said it was on the fishing boat that Yelawolf was born. How did this get born on a Seattle fishing boat?
I guess just not to get weird, is just having some epiphany, you know, like that kind of work, it will do things to you, you know, like you're out there for 7 days a week working 20-hour days, like it makes you zone into some shit, you know, like, can I say shit?
It appears you already have, so we'll deal with it later. Ladies and gentlemen, Yelawolf speaking off the top of his head.
Keeping it slummy, Slum Diego.
You have literally all the tattoos in the world, but I wanted to talk about a couple specifically. One, Michael Landon, guy from Little House on the Prairie, and two, John Wayne.
Well,
can you explain why that's committed to your body forever?
Well, my mother named me after Michael Landon and John Wayne. My name's Michael Wayne, so that's that. Those were her favorite people. Michael Landon, she wanted to marry him, and John Wayne, she wanted me to be like him. So.
Did you watch a lot of Little House on the Prairie growing up?
Forced. Wheel of Fortune. Little House on the Prairie. I hated Wheel of Fortune. I was probably the only person in the world who still, I'm just like, I can't do it. It reminds me of a bad babysitter's house. And I had a lot of those too.
And you also you've got a catfish on your arm. Is it on your arm?
Yeah, the catfish is on. I'll show you. Fuck it. I'm sorry.
That ship is already sailed.
The catfish there. Yeah. We got a tattoo story to share.
Show them the Michael Landon though, because that's pretty impressive. That's an incredible likeness.
Michael Landon, John Wayne.
Laura Ingalls herself would be impressed.
Yeah.
But the catfish...
I don't know why his face is green. I've decided that it's because he can't breathe. Or something. It is kind of bluish. It's turning green. Whatever. Don't judge me.
It's like the dress on the internet. What color is Yelawolf's Michael Landon tattoo?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So that's how I got those. Why I got those tattoos. The coolest new tattoo that we got is this right here. This is DJ Clever to my left here, And he had a stroke of genius the other night. He said, "Man, I ain't old school. I'm mold school. It's a whole nother level of old school."
We're also wasted as fuck.
Boy, you can't say fuck on the radio.
Like a fishing boat in Seattle, that one's already sailed, so we'll get it afterwards.
Well, anyway, we all got mold school tattooed on us because keep it mold school. So that is the fifth album probably when my name is Old Yeller. The mixtape will be called Mold School.
So the catfish, despite being in addition to being a delicious southern treat,
It is.
You said it represented being
I never had it
bottom
grilled
feeder.
though. I wouldn't suggest eating a grilled catfish. I never had that. Fried catfish is good.
I think you said something in the past about it being representative of what it took to survive in
Oh,
Alabama. growing
yeah.
up.
What it means? Well, the catfish. First of all, I was born on the Coosa River at Baptist Hospital. Is right on the Coosa River. There's that, and then it was like part of being a bottom feeder. Just coming from the bottom, and that's the way that I came up. Just having to wait around on the bottom, waiting for something to pass by, and eat it.
What do you think it was that took you from being someone that just waited for stuff to pass by that you could eat to being someone
that sounds so ridiculous.
What took you from being a bottom feeder to being this? Someone who's clearly in charge of their own life.
I'm clearly still a bottom feeder. I fed on the bottom last night. So I don't know. Things are just happening right now.
I'll thank you to leave my mother out of this.
Oh shit, man. Right, maybe we should just play some music. This isn't going good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you like to hear some music? Big warm round of applause. Make some noise. Thank you so much for being here. Give it up for Yelawolf.
All right, let's play.